guys, thanks for tuning in to episode number 1 of Rack and Rod Chronicles. This is Keith Hayden.
How are you? Nice to meet you.
I'm Greg Gondella, and that's Cooper. So episode 1, spring finally hit. We wanted to kind of introduce ourselves and get you guys, kind of see what we're all about. So we're gonna get out working today on the property and get some food plots in, and hopefully sight a couple rifles in and talk a little turkey. And you'll see Rick, who's one of our other team members who couldn't be here today. We're gonna give you a throwback hunt from last year, one of the gobblers that he shot, with turkey season being just a few weeks away here in PA. So stay tuned, and we'll talk to you soon.
Guys, we're here at our first location we're gonna try to do a food plot on. This is one I've done in the past, but it's been a few years since I've done it. So we're gonna try out here the Whitetail Institute's laboratory soil test kit. It comes here with a little baggie. About halfway here, there's a line. You're gonna fill it up with 10 to 20 samples. So not very much, just little spots throughout your whole plot area so it gets a good general idea of what the soil's like. And so we're just gonna scrape off this top layer a little bit. Just dig in there. Just going down a little bit, getting a little sample. About the tip of that, throwing it right in there. And if you can kind of see the video, I've been kind of doing like a grid pattern, about lines of 3, and we're just gonna work our way down this little, it's about 75-yard stretch for the food plot.
So guys, we moved back up to the pond here. Keith is on his way back up here with the tractor. To give you guys an idea, we're on top of a mountain right now. This pond that his grandfather dug out years ago is up here. It's a little bit of a trip with the ATVs. So right now he's got a back blade on there with some picker rakes, and we brought the drag up. So we're gonna put this 2-foot plot in. Small 2-foot plot for waterfowl, and hopefully we can draw some more in than what's getting here. We're probably going to end up doing a box blind here on one of the edges. We're not sure where yet. So this episode again was kind of just to let you guys understand kind of what we're about. We're every day, we all work full-time jobs. Keith actually was not supposed to work yesterday, got called in. To give you guys an idea, we're filming this right now in the middle of the pandemic, which is going across the country. So probably not going to get to the rifles today. We did our soil samples for our fusion and some of our lower fields. But yeah, so we're just everyday outdoorsmen. So there's 5 people on the team that you obviously saw in our opening credits. And this is kind of just, this is how we spend every year, getting plots in, getting ready for spring turkey season, getting trap guns ready, getting rifles sighted back in. We live to hunt, fish, and trap. So thank you guys again for tuning in. All right, guys. So Keith just tore up this entire spot here where we plan on planting chufa for the waterfowl that we're hoping to draw in more on this pond. Keith, how was it? Little rocky, little bumpy?
A little rocky, but we got most of the sod up, loosened it up enough, so we should be able to pull a little ATV harrow around it and should look pretty good.
So this is what goes in if you're planting food plots, guys. This is, you know, make sure you have the equipment to do it. Thankfully, Keith has the tractor with a big rake and blade on the back. Like I said earlier when I was waiting for Keith to get up here, this is up on top of a mountain, so getting a disc and tiller and whatnot up the road that we needed to get up here with just wasn't happening, so that's why Keith went with the rake, and it did its job. So we're gonna start seeding and cover it back up, and hopefully we have some chufa here in a couple weeks. Guys, right now Keith is spreading all of our chufa seeds out. He already ran the harrow, and we're gonna run the harrow again to make sure they get covered back up with dirt. But you know, it took us all of about an hour and 20 minutes to come up here, let him tear up the ground. We're seeding now, we'll get it covered back up, and within hopefully a couple weeks, we'll start seeing some growth. This is just a little strip right next to the pond. Turkeys will feed on this, deer will feed on it, waterfowl also feed on it, but it is mainly for turkey. It's called Turkey Select. So, you know, they're a little chunkier, and unfortunately for our friends in Michigan and Connecticut, if you order these from Whitetail, unfortunately they cannot ship them to you. The DCNRs in both states consider it an invasive weed. We don't like to think so, but Keith's got it going here. We're gonna get this set up and get out of here. So guys, as we promised earlier, after we got done doing our food plots, we were gonna bring you a hunt from last year with Rick Huggler. Turkey season is just a few weeks away here in Pennsylvania, and this hunt, everything could have went wrong in the beginning, went wrong. So they got set up on a spot that they knew there were some birds, didn't pan out, so they started driving around the countryside, and finally thought they were going to get on some birds and didn't. So they moved one more time after seeing a handful of jakes in a field, and they started calling on. In the video, you're not going to hear the calling portion. But probably about 3 minutes before this portion of the video kicks off, they were calling. They got the hen to come in, they got some jakes to come in, and a big old gobbler came in with them. So sit tight, because there is a spot in this video, once these jakes break from that tom, they get down in front of Rick, and Rick didn't have a shot. So he couldn't shoot because they were literally sitting in front of his gun. That's how close they got to him, and you'll see them come back across screen. So we just wanted to give you guys a little heads up here on this portion of the video, because there is a little bit of a lapse where we really couldn't do anything to speed it up, because we wanted to show you guys everything that went on. But Rick did a great job getting this bird, and he was ecstatic that you'll see after the video when he starts explaining exactly what went down. But you know, like he says in the video, this is all kind of the stuff that happens. Nothing always goes as planned. So, you know, part of the reason we're doing this show is to show you that not everything works the way it should on paper. And hopefully throughout this season you'll see what we're talking about. You know, we have hunts lined up here in Pennsylvania, Illinois, Tennessee, Montana, Michigan, all over the place that, you know, we're not filming. We're kind of just showing you some stuff because these are the first few episodes, so you can kind of see our style. Excuse me, but everything that we're going to air this season is going to be filmed within a couple weeks of it airing. So we're going to show you the mistakes, we're going to show you the things that can go wrong, and hopefully show you a bunch of success as well. So guys, sit tight, enjoy this hunt. It takes Rick a little bit to finally get this bird in an opening that he has a shot. So don't leave the TV in that little bit of a gap where those birds are just walking around right in front of Rick and we couldn't do anything about it. Without too much further ado, check out Rick Huggler. He's hunting here in Pennsylvania. This is from the 2019 season. He, had everything that could have went wrong go wrong in the beginning, but ends up getting a great bird. And I'm sure Rick wishes he was here right now, but like I said, we all do have full-time jobs. So he is at work and couldn't be here in the studio with us. So check Rick out. Make sure you follow. As you can only imagine what Rick is thinking when these birds broke that hilltop. It's never a bad sign when you can see a gobbler right behind 3 jakes. But how long can you wait to get a shot at that tom? Well, sit tight, folks. Rick had to sit for a little bit. I'm sure just like you thought when we started watching this footage, that Tom was toast. Unfortunately, those jakes and that hen stopped dead in front of Rick, and he couldn't get a shot at that Tom. You can only imagine the adrenaline running through Rick's veins right now, waiting for those young birds to get out of the way. Luckily for Rick, and unfortunate for that gobbler, that was the last time he was going to strut. Got him.
Good turkey, bud. Good turkey.
About a mile in the woods, and we got up there. Not a single sound. He's been hearing birds for the past 2-3 weeks up in there. Probably 5-6 birds, loaded with birds. And this morning, not a single bird. So we left and we drove a couple of dirt roads and we parked, we called, and we saw 3 or 4 jakes up here. But we decided just to pull down and park. And then we pulled down a little bit further and we saw a longbeard, so we turned around, came back, set up on him, and nothing was calling, nothing was coming. So we moved again, and we saw the jakes out in the field, so we set up on them, hoping that this longbeard was still around. And as you're going to see in the footage, they all got together. The hen came first, then the 4 jakes, and then the longbeard came over, and we patiently waited for him to get in the clear. Great morning. This just goes to show you that just because they're not answering you first thing, just stick with it, set up again, and keep calling to them. And they came in perfect. I mean perfect.
Whitetail Institute, Legacy Sports International, Howell Rifles, Pointer Shotguns, Axis Camera Arms, Big Shot Targets. Better the hunt.